Hello, friends. Let's see what we got here. Welcome to Talking Trucks and Getting Stuck, Jalopnik's unofficial SnowRunner show. My name is Andrew Collins. I'm Jalopnik's car reviews editor slash truck online fake Twitch show host. Yes, you're watching a Twitch stream, obviously. I'm going to narrate it as I slide over here and talk about trucks, get stuck. And once some people hop into the video, we'll have a chat. So I'm just going to quickly welcome everybody. All right. Well, friends, we're going to get it going in just a few minutes here while I sort of get situated. And let's see, what do we got going on here? Maybe I'll get a little closer. Yep. And beam that over. For those of you who are new to the Jalopnik stream, basically, yeah, what we're going to do is I'm going to take some trucks on adventures and talk about them. Also going to try listening to tunes this time too, because let's do that. And I'm hoping that enough people jump into the chat that I was thinking this platform could be cool for kind of talking about some very basic automotive photography concepts. I can show you how to situate vehicles for shots and things like that. Whether or not it becomes useful, obviously it's going to be a pretty limited teaching tool, but we'll see what we can wrestle. With that, let's go over today's mission. We're going to keep it really simple. We're starting up here in the garage, and the plan is to rescue this Western Star 4964 that we left behind here. And then once we got that free, I'm going to take this Hummer, and we're going to go cruising around looking for parts. Why not? Let's see. Let's get in our truck and freaking boogie. Ooh. Looks like we've got several approach options. We could take the highway, come down. That's the easy way. You could take this road down. But if anybody tuned in a couple weeks ago, you know how horrible this route is. So let's just take the freeway. And what I'm hoping is some people jump into the old chat section so we can talk. And it's not just me yapping at the camera. All right, let's kick in the guts. Headlights on. Let's roll. This truck is a twin steer job, so you can see the sides there. We've got two front axles that steer, like the bizarre Terrell F1 car. Advantages I'm not sure with a truck of this size. It looks sort of unique combination of almost like semi-truck, like basic size, but having the truck and the trailer be one entity. This is not a trailer. This is just a truck with a super long cargo tray, and obviously a lot of off-road capability. I think this is used like heavy industry mining, that kind of scene, because you could put a big piece of equipment on the back of a truck like this and get it over fairly inhospitable terrain. Fortunately, my headlights don't seem to be too bright in this virtual Michigan we're cruising through here. into the dirt patch. When I get to the intersection to rescue my friend here off the main road, I'll check the old chat and see if anybody feels like chatting or not. If not, that's cool too. I've got one of those classic chill hop playlists on my headphones right now. I'm beaming to the stream, but it's like one of those where, you know, Spotify for this, where the icon is like an anime scene with like a cat looking out a rainy window. I love those. Alright, let's see. Nope, people are chilling. That's cool. Let's go on down the hill. Interesting with a truck like this is it's so wide. Or no, rather, my mistake, it's so long, it's not wide at all. So I kind of feel like its side-to-side tippiness could be a factor. So far, not an issue. I'm hoping the turn radius improved by the fact that we have 2 steering axles is going to make it possible to get through. Oh, this is ugly. Oh boy. Oh right, we don't even have 4-wheel drive in this. Just a diff lock. So when you're out in the world, the off-road world, you'll see, well, let me rephrase, let me start over. It's not uncommon to see a light-duty pickup truck, like a regular F-150 type pickup truck, with rear-wheel drive and locking differential. So you could probably do a whole debate on whether a rear locker could be as useful, if not more useful, than 4-wheel drive. But the simple fact is that everyone could agree on is that it would certainly help. It would definitely be close between, not in every situation, but in many situations, between having rear drive with a locking rear versus 4-wheel drive. Locking rear diff could get you out of a lot of stuff. Not everything. Wouldn't be quite as capable, I think, but it could be kind of close. Let's get the old winch out since I got stuck yapping, of course. Gotta pay attention to the road, Collins. All right, come on. There we go. Let's see if the winch can even pull this behemoth of a truck. Yes, it can. All right. Did we go the right way? Yes, we did. All right, so now we got to snake our way down this, through this puddle, which is actually a lake, and scoop this thing up, and then figure out how to get it out of here, because I don't think we'll be able to come up this way. Oh yeah, we'll never be able to, with a truck this long and trying to tow another one, no shot. We'll definitely not make it. God, I can barely see where I'm going. Ah! No, not good. Not good at all. Ouch. We basically got high centered on our front diff. Ew, it's just kind of fun. We're taking a lot of damage through here. This road is too skinny for a truck this size. Deeply regretting going this way. Oop. You know what I might do instead of try to pull off this rescue is just hop in my Hummer and go for a little spin as we discussed. Alright, because now we need another winch. Come on. So the new objective, we're just going to leave this truck by its quarry so that we can come back later to complete the rescue. For now, let's just get this thing to safety. Get it out of the ditch. Jeez, this is hopeless. man. There we go. Oh boy, we're all the way clear across the side of the road. Let's take the easy way out. What do you say? To the Hummer, the humble Hummer. The Hummer is really what I wanted to focus today's mission on anyway. The Hummer H2, look at all those headlights, holy cow. God, the H2 is such a whack machine. But really, just wanted to go exploring. Let's do that. Power it up. I think I left a tank of gasoline around here. See if we can find it. God, that H2 truck. What do you think's ever been carried in the bed of an H2 truck? Just ice and beers, right? There's no way anything else has ever been stored in the back of one of these. There's just no way. There's the truck that we would have rescued if I hadn't crashed the rescue truck, but c'est la vie. All right, where's my... There it is. Nailed it. We're gonna top off the old gas station. Skip to the daytime. Refuel. Look at that, it's a beautiful sunshiny day. Now often when playing the old Twitch here, I don't like to automatically at daytime. I wanted to talk about, just really quick while we're driving around, I wanted to talk about some car photography ideas here. Because I've been, you know, I've been on Craigslist phase where I'm just window shopping for cars I'm never gonna buy, as one does. And I just have been reminded of how weak so many of the photos are in these car listings. And I think a little bit of framing can go a long way. I am not a professional photographer. I wouldn't even say I'm a particularly good photographer, but it's a pretty bad way to sell my tutorial here. But I kind of want to have a little discussion on some principles of car photography. At least call your attention to some principles of car photography. How does that sound? That's fair. That's fair. So let's say we have this Hummer H2, and we want to do some pictures of it. Sure, why not? We're up in this beautiful, cool area. Yeah, of course, this is a great place to take pictures. Now, let's go over some stuff. Let's start with shadows, because we're part of the show. Shadows make taking pictures of challenging because they obviously they have a lot of effect on the scene. So just look at the way the shadow here is like, makes it obviously dark in the front of the truck and then light in the back. This, as far as like a serviceable, understandable photo, this doesn't really work. It doesn't look consistent and clean. It's very frustrating. So let's try and focus. I recommend, if you're doing like an ad style or review style photo, a straightforward photo, if you will, I would recommend watching those shadows and paying attention to that. So this is giving you an idea of, some of these ideas are going to be pretty rudimentary, but based on the car pics I've seen on various social media channels, I'm not convinced they are obvious to everyone. So just sharing some thoughts here. All right, so we got out of the shadows. You can see there's one long shadow here. Now, there are different schools of thought on the presence or significance of the vehicle shadow in the picture. I really have a hard time if I take a picture of a car, but I ended up cropping it like this, or like cropping the shadow part of the way. When the shadow is big, I feel like this compulsion to include the whole shadow. I'm not sure why. It just feels feels wrong to me for it to be like slightly cut off, like if it were like this. Yeah, it drives me nuts. I don't know. I don't know if other people feel that way, but this is really just a personal style thing. This is an observation. Yeah, so I personally find it like oh, we broke a tree. But I don't think, I don't know. I'm not gonna say any of these are rules. These are just recommendations and thoughts. Okay, so now that we're aware of the shadow, we have control of the shadow. Let's get to a nice vantage point. So this is a good example. A lot of issues that I personally will have trying to do a photo shoot when the sun is in one place and you're in a certain kind of, you have to work with where the sun and the background is. So you're gonna get, your sun is obviously right off the Hummer's, what would that be, about 2 o'clock, right? Okay, so the sun casts a shadow. There are, I mean, many different ways you could justify a photo of this vehicle from angle, depending on what you want to accomplish photographically. Let's say, for starters, you just want a good, clean picture of the Hummer. Obviously, you're going to want the size the sun is on to be the most highlighted. One thing to watch out for here is your shadow, unless you have the skills to Photoshop that out. Something to keep in mind. But yeah, for a straightforward, like easy to see all details, obviously you want the sun behind you. This is pretty common. But what if you're in a situation where you really want the vehicle, you want this ocean or this lake background, but you don't want the sun? This is a situation I come up with, you know, taking pictures at the beach out here in California, because a lot of times you'll want the sunset or like the sun going down in the shot, but at the same time, the sun is a major distractor. Like, this could be an artsy photo, but it can't really make a great sail post photo, unless you had like a special section of sail posts where you just had like glamour shots, which I think more people should do. Because you can see how bright everything is. And we'll turn the backup lights off here, so that'll, come on, there we go. Yeah, this is because, like, obviously it's bright, so we're squinting here. The camera's effectively doing the same thing. And so the lighting on the truck is kind of weird. It's kind of pale, but the rest is really bright, so this is kind of tough. I would say, if you want to do a picture in this direction here, where you've got water and sun going down, either commit to just like enjoying the sky colors and having it being kind of secondary, or consider positioning the camera somewhere so it's in the vehicle's shadow, kind of down low. And then you don't have that brightness. You still get like a silhouetting effect, but that'd be cooler. Just a recommendation, again. I'm sure there are many photographers who have styles that are different, but it's just based on what I've seen. So, all right, let's try. Since we're talking angles, let's say we've got a good spot picked out. We've got a good background. So, like, okay, we were just talking about one of the water behind us. So this could be now the sun behind us and the water in front of the camera behind the truck. Perfecto. All right, so we want to get one of those shadows too, because they're sort of distracting and annoying. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, now let's talk about stuff in the background and the angle of the truck, or the angle of the subject vehicle. All right, this is a bad example. So this is not a great shot because you've got the water, but like horizon is cut off, because the beach is too steep, basically. So it's not really going to be a great photograph. Let's bring it up this way. Let's bring it up the hill. Okay, yeah, there's no environmental rules in this game, so we can just mulch the tree. I wouldn't do that in real life, folks. It's antisocial. Go to SnowRunner, it doesn't matter. So, all right. Here's one spot. All right, so if I were trying to photograph this right here, a couple things I would be thinking about. Be very cognizant of the way the truck's sitting on the terrain. Because this ground is very uneven, it's going to affect the way the truck tilts. Obviously, you know that, you can see that. So if this were flatter ground relative to horizon, you could really, it would just make a difference on how you'd orient the camera, which I will explain right now. So check this out. See how the truck is clearly tilted where the left side of the vehicle is lower than the right side? But the horizon is flat. Now, if I could make a recommendation, I would say always keep the horizon flat. If you can see the horizon in a car photo, the horizon should be flat. You can't do like a tilt in the camera. I would try to illustrate that, but a lot of times you'll see this in off-road photos. Someone will tilt the camera to make it look like a vehicle's climbing a more extreme grade. First of all, don't do that. It's super lame. Second of all, if you're gonna do that, zoom in so you can't see the horizon because then you're kind of doing a better cheat there. It gives the truck kind of this menacing, like it almost looks like it's flexing its bicep. That kind of brings us to why I like shooting cars down low with this. I like to crouch and stand back a ways and then zoom in with camera because that kind of distorts your focus and makes the vehicle like appear larger. Yeah, I like that. Now, for compare that to this, for example, like even like so let's like a couple reasons why I like this a lot less. The truck is now in the water, but the horizon, it kind of looks like it's almost like divided. The way the truck is only in the water, but the horizon is up high. Like I personally think this looks much nicer, where the truck is kind of like the horizon on the water and the horizon on the mountains. About that. Horizons. Yeah, we were talking horizons. Yeah, I like the way the background here kind of is almost like stitched together versus if I stood up a little bit taller. This makes like weirdly fading to me. And furthermore, I don't really like looking at the vehicle from this angle. It doesn't have as much energy. Down here, like I said, you've got that like, it's almost like a bicep flex dance. Here, it just kind of looks like a car. Up higher, it's rare to be able to get up high for a photograph because obviously you need like a ladder or a rock or something big to stand on, which you don't always have access to. So for that reason, I do kind of like up high pictures because it's so uncommon. But in this case, I think it's a total waste of background. I mean, all you can see is the mud. So I wouldn't go up high for that. What else? Let's see here. Oh, here's a perfect example of another thing we can talk about. Look at the way the sun glints off the wheel. Something that is magical when the sun gets nice and low. Sometimes you can hit an accent like that, like a shiny accent, and just have this cool pop somewhere on the vehicle. It's almost like, doesn't it almost look like that Hummer like smiling and its teeth sparkling? You'll notice I'm very anthropomorphic with cars. I am that kid who like assumed cars, the headlights were eyes and the grills were mouths. That was like, I think it all goes back to this book I had as a kid called like Dingo Dog's Big Race or like Go Dingo Dog. He was a Richard Scarry character. Drives a red like Ferrari-esque convertible with a mouth, grill, and eyes for headlights. And I just freaking loved it. It was great. So yeah, I always think of cars like people. That was a bit of a strange aside. What else can we talk about? Oh yeah, horizons. Oh, this would be another great shot. Nice and low. I would get lower than you even can. Actually, so earlier here I was saying I didn't like just the truck and the water and then the mountains, but that might have been because we had mountains, close mountains to the right and far mountains to the left. If I go this way, check this out. Now, just a little bit more. No. This kind of works. So here's why I like this better than the angle we were standing at a few paces to Looker's right. This way, you've only got one mountain and one like near beach skyline. So you've really got a very clearly defined three like chunks. And once again, the Hummer is kind of in the middle, although now the shadows appeared and the shot is blown. So let's move on. Ooh, this low light would be an example of like shooting into it. Yeah, look how you get those light beams, like right. Let's see, can we drive right behind? Look at the way the sun is silhouetting that tree right there. That's very cool. This is not a good angle of the truck, but let's see. What else can we bring it on up? I'm gonna move the car once more, and then we'll look at see if anybody has chat comments, because I wonder if people have opinions on my commentary here. Here's an easy one to go over. Headlights. I'm generally a fan of turning headlights on for car photos, no matter what time of day. I think it makes the car feel more alive. But people may have opinions on that. That's fine. Let's see. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of freedom with this game to position the camera person. One interesting thing about taking photos in low light with the car's headlights on, or you have to consider where the headlights are throwing light, because that becomes a pretty significant part of your photograph. If you're doing a nighttime car shoot, and I've got some friends, JBH, Casey McCauley, Kevin McCauley, who have done really cool, like lower light. They would probably have more sciencey explanations of this, but like, let's see, we were on this beach taking a picture of this Hummer, and with the lights on, I do like the way the lights on the truck kind of give it a little bit more presence, especially like the idle lights, like those, like the rears and the height lights. However, now as you can see, this log is kind of like a weirdly prominent element of this photograph. So maybe you just, you run the like parking lights, but not the headlights necessarily, unless you're actually shooting the car head on where you can see them. But then you got to watch out for getting the light of beam sparkling too brightly. I hope you'll experiment with this if you're like a car enthusiast and you're so inclined. So here's the sun kind of glinting off that piece of chrome on the truck, as we were talking about earlier. But for the sake of demonstration, we could say that's just a bright headlight. Let's see. Does this game have glare from the lights? Not really. Not really. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, because sometimes you can get a cool effect by positioning the camera in such a way that where the car's headlight kind of catches it, but doesn't. It's too hard to explain without being able to really illustrate it. Okay, let's park right here, and I will briefly look at some comments. Yeah, okay, shut her down, save some gas. Let's see what we got. See whoever's hanging out. Okay, we were talking about. Oh, all right. Let's try something. Oops. Sorry, friends. A lot of people are commenting that the audio is bad. Let's try this. Sorry, I didn't notice that earlier. Chat pause due to scroll. Okay, yes, people were complaining about the audio. I'm so sorry. I hope it's working out a little bit better now. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep yapping. I hope it's better. I switched some stuff. Excel809 has a comment. Do I have a list of spots every state, or did Jalopnik cover that in the past? By spots, do you mean like off-road spots or photo spots? I guess you could say they're one and the same, or just driving spots. What kind of spots are we talking, Mr. or Ms. Excel809, whoever you may be? Off-road. Ooh. Off-road spots in every state, my goodness. There are not off-road spots in every state, unfortunately. But for California, I really like Johnson Valley. It's definitely not, it's no secret. It's not like a hidden space, but it's, in fact, it's where they have King of the Hammer every year. It is just like this wide open desert. Like you can just do whatever you want. It's very cool. It's very cool. There's, I also really like, where else have I been recently that was kind of fun? It also depends on the car a lot. Like we had, when the 2017 Ford Raptor came out, the EcoBoost Raptor, we went down to, God, why am I blanking? Not Anasazi, Anza Borrego, the desert where Ford actually does a lot of proving ground testing. And that was an awesome place to run that truck because you got a lot of horsepower and sand was definitely fun, but not too deep to be like particularly challenging to drive in. So just had a freaking awesome time sending it in those trucks down there. It was a really great opportunity for those vehicles to shine. Also like this casual road Ocotillo truck trail just south of San Diego. It's basically on the border of the US and Mexico. It's not really off-roading, it's more like a gravel road. But it is fun. Let's stop and get some gas real quick. Arizona, God, Arizona is so many. The only one I can think of, I actually can't remember the name of. Where else has been interesting? Gosh, every state, man. I don't even know if I can game and answer that question at this point. I will say this, if anyone has great suggestions on like non-Southwest off-road spots, I would love to hear that because it's really pretty easy to find spots to wheel in California or any of the Four Corner states. Pacific Northwest, I think slightly less so, but then like New England, there's basically nothing. And the South, I'm not sure about. I bet there's stuff, but I'm not really aware of it. Oh no, did we get stuck? I'm trying to think if there are any like major standouts. Definitely done some Colorado stuff that was awesome. Moab is amazing in Utah, obviously. Oof, jeez. Oh, you know where I really love to go also in California is just like anywhere in Yo County, like Mammoth Lakes area, just because I have a soft spot for Mammoth after living up there for a while. Oh, let's see. Someone asked, the Excel809's asking about Oklahoma. You know, shoot, have I been to Oklahoma? I've definitely never off-roaded there, but I would love to go. I don't know if I've been through Oklahoma. That might have evaded me. Made a few cross-country runs, but I'm trying to think. I know I've been in Nebraska, Texas. Shoot, I'm a little embarrassed that I forgot. Iowa? I don't think so. But I would love to hear about Oklahoma wheeling spots. I bet there's some stuff out there. Anywhere you get a lot of land, it's typically easier to find off-road spots. It's just those states that are really dense and small that don't have a lot of room to spare for people to go wheel in. Let's see, it's becoming nighttime in the game. So we can talk just a little bit more about taking car pics. I mentioned earlier there are some nighttime shooters that I love. I'm still practicing. The challenge of nighttime photography is obviously you need like a combination of a long exposure shot where the camera is collecting data for a long time so you can get the light from the stars. doesn't really see the stars, but at the same time, you don't want the vehicle to be too bright, because then it's just like a bright car in a black abyss. So I think a lot of the best nighttime photographers will do like two shots and then combine them, or several photos and combine them through layering, but that is a little more advanced than I think I would be able to articulate or even do well. So I'm going to hold off on getting into that too much. But remember earlier how I was saying how important it is for darker pictures to think about the headlight throw? I mean, now that it's nighttime, that becomes really apparent, right? Like, it makes a very stark contrast. Like, if you don't want the trees to be really, really prominent in your photo, this isn't going to work for you, because clearly headlights lighting them up brings them to center stage. Now, here, this is a terrible photo because you can just see the lights, but you can't really make a shape. So let's try something else. A cooler way to do this photo would be to bring the truck up a little higher, where you can find that contrast again. And it's going to be important to get low here, because I think it would be great to see the sky underneath the vehicle, and that would make it look taller. This kind of works because, no, it doesn't. I don't like this. This is not good. It does frame it against the back a little bit better, but the rear kind of blobs into the ground too much. So let's see what else we can do here. Whoa, moonbeams. This is cool. This would be a very cool shot if you could have, if you were flying a drone and you had a light on it and you could light up the side of the Hummer real quick. Let's back it on down the hill. I have one more thing I want to talk about photo-wise, and then we can switch topics. Let's find a spot for me to show this idea off. Okay. Ooh, a wreck. Cool. This must be an upgrade location we've already uncovered. All right, well, okay. Where's a good spot to illustrate? I want to talk about background objects, closer background objects. Earlier we were talking about horizons. I'll talk about smaller things in the background and how you need to be aware of them when you're taking a picture of a car. No, this isn't good. Okay, let's go over this. Whoa, oh no, oh God, no, 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 oh no, oh God. Oh, ouch. Everybody okay? Palpate yourself. Okay. Yeah, that was painful. All right. Freaking brutal. Let's bring it back to the barn. Okay, off we go. And we're fixed. The magic of SnowRunner is you're always just a quick few buttons away from being fully repaired and back at the garage. If only life were that simple. All right, now let's talk about the last picture-related thing I wanted to describe. Oh shoot, never mind, there are two more things. Okay. Here's an example of, like, we're in like an urban sort of environment. Well, it's a big garage, industrial I should say. It's a very industrial looking area. I personally have been fond of using random garage doors and having the vehicle parked near it just to kind of create a scene, like just have the truck parked here, maybe stand, here. This is kind of a cool shot. Now I would want to crop it down a little bit. Yeah, something like that. I really like the G2, G3 and the height sign. This really gives this picture like tells the whole story, right? I mean, that's how you want all your pictures to look ideally. This image has a very like, commercial, industrial flavor. It looks It looks like there's action happening here. Like this truck's just getting off a job or about to get, yeah, when it's parked forward, it looks like it's getting off work. And if I were to pull it out, let's see, if we were to change and have it be front facing, I bet it would look kind of the opposite, right? It would look like it's, let's line it up nicely. Come on now. Ooh, those leaves are lovely too. Oops, I was in the wrong gear. So now here's an example of using shadows to your advantage. Like the shadow, this is actually kind of a cool picture. You've got the leaves. The stark shadows are kind of cool in this setting because they're really like just bold and cut off, much like this vehicle itself. So this image kind of has a personality that goes well with the truck. And I think this would make a cool photograph if you could get to this weird perspective, which you probably couldn't. Yeah, but yeah, so earlier we were talking about it looked like quitting time. If you go this way, it looks like we're getting ready for work, right? With the truck coming out, it's like, let's do this. Coming out of the gate here. Ideally, I would open the garage door. That would look really, really cool, but if you were just pulling up to some random warehouse, that might not fly. Okay, what other urban, is there any other building stuff we could do? Sometimes if you just need a photo of the car, like if you're selling it or writing or a car review, I like to do pretty simple pictures in a review. You can get to a wide open space like this and kind of use it to your advantage. Instead of taking a picture, let's say we're here, right? There's a lot of crap going on here. Let's park it somewhere. Let's park it somewhere where it illustrates my point even better, actually. Here we go. Let's say I want to sell this Hummer. Okay, here we are. We've got this building here. It's like, there's just a lot of stuff happening in this photo, in this image, and it's kind of annoying and distracting. Solution, let's go up higher and zoom in. This isn't a great example because of the way the truck is positioned, but all right, so let's say we're just go somewhere where all you can see is the pavement. There's an okay. So like, I don't want these buildings. And then you just get higher and further back until, all right, well, in the game, the car's cut off, but in real life, you could go a little bit lower, and that way you capture the vehicle in just pavement. This can be a good way to take a photo if you're in like a large populous area. You don't want a lot of distractions. You really just want a stark, like, here is the car picture. Getting some height can really help. What else? Oh yeah. Okay, similarly, when we're talking about crap in the background and distractions, one of my biggest pet peeves that, I'm not gonna name names, but many writers that I have edited, talented folks, have done this pet peeve of mine, and that's parking the vehicle for a picture in such a way that the background, it doesn't flow with the background, or like there's just distractions. Here is a prime example. Like, let's say the truck were here. All right, well, that's a little too obvious. Let's say we're here. Come on, back it up. I should position it before I stop yapping, eh? All right. This would be a god-awful car photo. Even though the way the vehicle is positioned is fine, the sun is fine, but look how much just crap is going on here. Now you can't fix this by going high because there's still just too much shit going on. Okay, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. You have to reposition. When there's that much noise, you just need to reposition. Sometimes it is inevitable. But sometimes you can only reposition with a small degree of satisfaction, or you are in a space that you love, but there's just one niggling little thing that's frustrating you. Here's a perfect example. This road sign, okay? Wait, go back, sorry. No, that's not a good one. All right, that 35-mile-an-hour sign. Obviously, the power line is kind of more annoying, but let's pretend the power line's not there, but like, if you're taking this picture, like how annoying is that 35-mile-an-hour sign? It's like, is it supposed to be, is it like part of the image? What's going on? So I would say 100% figure out a way to either do this, where the picture, where the sign is like not trying to be part of the car, or do this, where it's completely obscured. Wait. Sometimes you have to look for bodies inside, or use the A-pillar, use one of the pillars to your advantage. This is a really tough one to pull off because the truck has a lot of windows. So okay, so here you could get lower in real life, go prone, and then that sign would completely disappear. And this shot still has the power line, so it's still kind of crapola. Similarly, if we decided to go with this, look at that tree that's coming out of the top. That's whack. The way the tree line is right with the roof of the truck, it looks weird. It's hard to differentiate what's the truck and what's the tree. Is that a giant antenna? So I might suggest keep going right until, see, this I still don't like because the body of the vehicle is still too close against the horizon divider. We were talking about this earlier. Same principle applies. Keep going, and now I like it a lot better because even though the tree is still right behind us, the vehicle is much more defined on its own. Now, of course, I would tilt the wheel to this way. There are different schools of thought on the wheel tilts. I am a big fan of it. It's kind of basic, I will admit. It's just something that it's like a default look that a lot of people go for. I like it. I like the dramatic turn. I like how you can see a lot of the wheel and you get two distinctly different angles on the wheel. But I can understand why people wouldn't like it. The far wheel, where you can see the inside of, doesn't look great. Sometimes you've got exposed suspension components. They don't always look cool. So I understand why people don't like this. The straight ahead, though, I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. Yeah, for a front quarter shot. But maybe you like it. I do not care for a this way tire. I really don't like it. I wonder, I'd be very curious to know if other people feel the same way, because you very rarely see a vehicle photographed this way. So I think that my perspective is fairly common, that many people probably don't care for this look. I think a head-on tire can work. If you have a nice tire with a cool tread, it looks like SnowRunner, the game, tried to replicate a BF Goodrich KO2 pattern there. It's got that. It kind of looks like the state of California over and over again. But then, of course, you can't see the wheel. So I will mention one more note about wheel positioning, because my buddy JBH, who's an awesome car photographer, way better than me, taught me he likes to do a tiny turn, which I thought was really interesting, because it almost looks like the wheel isn't turned, but you do get just a little more of the wheel in there. So I prefer the hard tilted to the side, but I could see why this would be appealing. That is kind of cool. So there's a fun wheel tip. What else can we talk about for picks? Let's cruise around a little bit and see if the scenes kind of lend us to stuff. I wish we could do like a zoom in and out thing, but SnowRunner just doesn't have the technology for me to really display what I'm trying to articulate. One style of photo that I have started liking recently is a head-on shot. Now, obviously the same background principles apply. I really like the look of a vehicle that's just dead straight. You're looking at it straight ahead. Now, the challenge with this is you need to be like laser precise with your organization. Otherwise, it looks like crap. Like even even just a tiny bit like this makes my head explode with rage. Look at how it's just horrible. It's like front straight on, but not quite. And a great way to, if you don't have a camera with like crosshairs, or you can't really like readily see this, look at the wheels and the inside of the wheel specifically. And you can see, obviously I can see more of the vehicle's right side, looker's left. So clearly I'm not straight on. Yeah, but now straight on, if those wheels are, wheel intersections are the same exact size, like that's not even, it's damn close, but I don't know if I can be, it's so hard, now I'll never get it back. But you can fix that in post, obviously. You can tilt a picture, but it's something to think about for your head-ons. What else can we talk about here? Let's see if anybody feels like chatting. Oh yeah, Caprice82 says, for night photography, maybe a long exposure and paint the light with a light source, flashlight on a low setting. So that's a great point, Caprice82. Light painting is something we didn't talk about at all. Light painting is really cool. Basically, what you do is, for those of you who are not familiar, let's say it was nighttime, I would, park the truck however I want a shot of it, and then while the camera is on collecting data, I would like flash a flashlight at the truck, but not for too long, but long enough for it to get some light on it and basically have the camera digest it more easily. That's a tough one for me to explain. I have it in my head, but I don't know if I can like get that out of the old mouth hole. I hope that makes sense. Light painting is really cool. We just can't demo it in this game. It's not actually, that's not true. Oh my God, we're gonna demonstrate light painting in SnowRunner. Nope, we're gonna get 2 trucks. Yeah, okay. Great idea, Caprice82, for bringing up light painting. All right, check this out. We're gonna drive, no wait, just recover. Go back to base, yes. All right, leave garage, and then back. Come on, sorry. I'm gonna pull the other truck out of the garage also. Show you why. Garage entrance, boom, get my Chevy, perfect. All right. Damaging both vehicles, oh, okay, all right. So, give me 1 second to rub my eyeball, and now I will show you what I'm talking about with light painting. Okay. I'm gonna park my Chevy right here. This would be an okay picture. The pipes in the side are kind of annoying, so I would definitely walk this way. When you've got a tree line that's like this, where I've got snippets of sky poking through, but sort of an inconsistent top, I would just cut that off altogether, stand closer or zoom in, so that, zoom in I say, there you go. So that you just don't get that top at all. It just have the trees. This is a weird perspective that I don't like. The truck looks odd from there. I do like, however, oh, there's another example of a thing in the background that's annoying. So, oh, I like it here, but I don't like those, those Jersey barriers. Well, just do this, and then you can cover them. But in that case, we got something else in the way. There we go. Okay, this is a pretty nice, like, standard car photo. It's kind of divided into thirds. The truck looks tough. I might go even a little bit lower. Oh, we can't. I might crouch lower than this to make the truck look bigger. But, all right, light painting. Just you guys wait, you're gonna love this. Let's make it nighttime, evening, night. Okay, it's nighttime. How are we gonna light paint? Well, let's see. Let's drive the truck to somewhere cool that you can see a lot of night sky. That would make a cool picture, huh? All right. Drive through this mud, perfect. We'll get some mud on the body and it'll look extra badass. I always prefer photographing dirty cars, no matter what it is. Sports car, truck. I think cars look cooler with a little grime on them. It just like, it looks more natural. I don't like when a car is like super retouched and just looks like a cartoon character. It's not my thing. Okay, let us continue with the demonstration. First, we need to find a spot where the background is going to be cool at night. Because if you don't bother doing that, then you might as well just like go to a dark corner, and that's not really that interesting. Let's see. No. Keep finding our spot. I don't love this. This would be a challenging place for night photography because of all the background lights. Unless you wanted them there. It does have kind of a cool effect. But I want to see the stars. This is actually kind of cool. All right, let's try this. So one way to do a cool shot here would be to park under the street lamp. That's an obvious one. Yeah, look at that. That really gives you like a last call kind of thing. Like, let's turn the lights off. Yeah, in this scenario, I think it looks better with the lights off. Oh yeah, that's actually a really cool shot, huh? It's really moody, right? It looks so dark and mysterious, especially with that fog in the background. God, this is lovely. I wish this were real. And yeah, the street light. Ooh, I actually like if I go a little bit to the left. I like how I can see the street light in the background, and then you can see the street light pole immediately close. So that lets you know that that pole is the light, and that lets you know, that gives you the context of what the pole is, and it makes it like cooler to have the pole in the photo. I even like those cones that are just randomly off to the right. It kind of makes more of a scene here, if that makes sense. There's one more night thing I wanted to show you, light painting with the truck. Okay, I think we can do it here. Okay, yeah, this would be a great example of a spot where we might want to do a little light painting. I mean, okay, it's okay. So let's say we don't have the benefits of the lamp post. I almost said lampshade, not quite the same. But we want to get a cool nighttime picture of that red Silverado at night. Let's go. Let's imagine we're going to light paint it. Here's how light painting works. And the people who already know what it is are probably already bored. I'm sorry. This is interesting for some of us. All right, perfect. Here's what I would do. Theoretically, the photographer, let's say, okay, the shot we want like that dark skyline, that tree-lined skyline with stars, but we also want this red Chevy in the foreground. Now, if we were to just take this picture really quick, it would just be black, it would be nothing. If we were to take it with a flash, all you would see is like super bright truck and a lot of ugly reflections, maybe bugs in the air, and like nothing else. It would be crap. So, what we need to do is take a photograph where the exposure is long, so that the light, a small piece of light from the stars, will be gathered over a period of seconds, like maybe 10 seconds, and appear brighter on the picture. So how do we make everything appear brighter? Well, let's throw the headlights on. So okay, now we can see the truck, and the human eye can see the sky, but the camera's not going to be able to deal with both of these things at once. I mean, maybe there are some cameras that can, but most cameras could not handle this much like dynamic range, this much light range. It would only capture what's in the foreground, because the shutter would just be like, quick, open and close. I have the light I need, here's the image. But then it wouldn't have collected the star images. So we're at a conundrum here. How do we do both? All right, let's say we set up our tripod, we set the timer for like 2 seconds, because you need a timer, because you need the shutter to open after your hand is done pushing the button, because if you move the camera while this is happening, you get blur, obviously. Let's say we're going to set it for 10 seconds. That should be a decent amount of time to collect the light from the stars. So let's say 10 seconds. Open the shutter, turn the lights on, turn the lights off, now close the shutter. I mean, that was illustrative, but that's how light painting works. So that was, we light painted. Now, ideally, you would be moving around with your light painting. Like, while the shutter's open, obviously a car would be a very challenging tool to use, but if you had a flashlight and you just, let's sweep. You're like, well, I'm sweeping. Sweep across that tree line if you wanted to get the trees in the shot. And then turn them off. And obviously I can't really show you what the result would look like in the game, but then you would have, then that's basically light painting. That should give you an idea of what the concept of light painting is. Oh, anyway, and with that, I think I'm probably gonna hang it up for today's show. That's, you know, we came to talk about some photography. We did, and I think I've played enough video games for today. I want to get back to work. I want to get back to writing. I'm writing about my 1984 300ZX, which I just got running again with the help of some really cool people from various Facebook groups, and I'm really excited. So the Z is kind of, my $100 300ZX is getting a new lease on life. It got a few upgrades, and it's hopefully going to get a few more next week, and should be drivable and exciting. Yeah, with that, thanks for tuning in. Yeah. It's been fun hanging. My name's Andrew. Hit me up on Twitter at Andrew P. Collins. Hit me up on Insta, Andrew at Large. I post stuff, put pictures of mostly trucks on Insta, and kind of tweet about nonsense on Twitter. So, you know, all the same stuff as the rest of the internet. Thanks for coming, and let's chat soon. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down, but it's been real. Happy Tuesday.